I hate to say it, but you just do. You've got a game, you've just got to. And it doesn't seem like that's the way it ought to be, but it's the way that it is. So you get up early, you get guys going, and hope they make shots.
Charles Matthews lobs it up to Wagner. 1 second on the shot clock. Up, in, and one. And a little double flex from the native of Berlin, Germany.
Again, Mo Wagner got the ball, took his time. Watch this. He's going to take his time. He catches it, gathers, fakes, foul, chin on the rim, keeps him. Look at his head. He's still watching the ball. He doesn't drop his head, and that carries it over the front of the rim.
So 9 points for Mo Wagner, and he goes to the free throw line. A Big Ten honorable mention selection last season. Was one of 3 Wolverines to start all 38 games. And he is unable to complete the three-point play, but Michigan able to retain possession only momentarily. Skylar Mays going skyward for the putdown.
And Mo Wagner never saw him. He was just trying to give the ball up to his guard, and next thing you know, Skylar Mays with his quickness came out of nowhere, at least according to Wagner, and stole it, dunked it.
Matthews up, in, and one. What an acrobatic move.
Wow, this is Chris Webber. Chris Webber kind of made this famous along the baseline with a quick spin. Matthews, man. Matthews watches, he catches it and just whap, goes around, and then again keeps his chin on the rim, double pumps it in over Epps. Looky here, pretty athletic move. If you want to make those shots, players, you got to get your chin onto the rim. Eyes isn't enough. You lift your chin, and it brings your entire body up and gives you strength to play through contact.
Just the second free throw attempt in this first half for Michigan. They're now 0 for 2 from the charity stripe.
May I clear something up? I should read mean tweets during the game. I got guys telling me Glenn Robinson was a 5-star recruit. What's wrong with people? I knew Glenn when he was 10 years old. He was out of Lake Central, Indiana. No 5-star recruit. Purdue didn't offer him a scholarship. Stop it.
Here's a steal. Abdul Rahman fouled on the way to the hoop. Some more free throws coming here for Michigan. We're seeing some defense here in this opening half.
Well, Michigan has to, because they're not getting anything out of their offense, and Abdul Rahman is very athletic. He dug that ball out. Again, here's a kid. Michigan's a fairly old team. When you look at Matthews is in his 3rd year, Abdul Rahman's a senior, Wagner only a junior. You know, and then you have Simpson, who's a sophomore, which is old in college basketball. A 5th-year senior with Simmons. So Duncan Robinson, a 5th-year kid. So they've got some age to them. They will not go away in this game, even though they're not playing great offensively.
Sampson was the perpetrator of that last foul. That's his 2nd. And Abdul Rahman able to knock down the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2 on that trip.
Well, he's important because he can go get his shot. He can lift up. He can make threes. He just knows how to fish around and play basketball. Abdul Rahman is going to have to be big for Michigan to win this.
Well, we thought this would be a tightly contested matchup in this opening day of the Maui Jim Maui Invitational. It has been just that here with a little over 2 minutes to go in the first half. Mays finishes with the left, but he is called for the offensive foul.
That's close. I thought Wagner maybe was a little bit late, certainly willing. Mays took it from half court, and let's see if Wagner. I think that's a block. I think Wagner was moving over a little bit on the drive right there. He's kind of sliding over, but tough call either way.
And now the Wolverines with an opportunity to tie or take the lead on this possession. Matthews got it stripped by Epps. Ahead to Mays in a foot race with a couple of Wolverines. They save it right into Mays' hands, and he finds Epps for the lane.
What a pass by Mays. He just flipped it over his shoulder. No look. Great hustle.
9 points now for Epps. Perfect from the field, 4 for 4.
Telling you, Wagner, top of the key, is going to get a shot here in a minute if he looks for it.
This is Eli Brooks Another freshman for Michigan. He drops the three.
And made it or shot it like he owned it. Shot it like he's been doing it for 4 years. He shot it, and I happened to be watching him, and he's moving backwards, knew he had drilled it.
Averaging just 6 minutes a game through the first 3 contests as Wagner taps that away. And here's Brooks again. Bounce pass to the corner, sets up Matthews. Off the mark.
What a great block out by Waters. Abdul Rahman was coming from the weak side, and Waters just eliminated him and got the rebound.
Under a minute to play here in what has been a pretty entertaining first half of basketball. The drive by Rochelle.
They're going to have to look at this clock. The clock just ran a couple seconds off. I don't know if they're going to mention it, if they're going to see it.
Be a defensive foul against Michigan. Here's another look at Eli Brooks.
Well, there's nothing easy about this. He's kind of dribbling all around. Wagner comes up with a little screen, and Brooks just steps back farther and knocks it in.
No fear coming from the 6-foot Frosh from Spring Grove, Pennsylvania. Brooks turned 19 last month. Scored over 2,400 points at Spring Grove High School.
Well, he's the guy that John Beilein and his staff want to get going here. They kind of have a 3-headed point guard going between Xavier Simpson, who was here last year, Simmons, who came in from Ohio University, and Brooks. But they know that Brooks is their guy in the future. And any minutes they're getting out of him, they're very welcome to.
Rochelle goes 1 of 2 from the line on that trip. We got about a 9-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Largest lead of this first half was 7 for LSU. Michigan with another opportunity to tie it, maybe even take the lead. Abdul Rahman finishes off the glass.
I'm telling you, he is uncanny with that. Again, he led with his left hip, kept his chin on the rim, laid it in. He is uncanny around the basket.
And LSU will use a timeout. 6.7 on the clock in a tie ball game in Lahaina. Well, we're tied at 29, 6.7 on the clock. Michigan and LSU, final game of this day 1 on the Maui Jim Maui Invitational docket. All right, well, we're seeing a little bit of character here from Michigan, down 7 at one point in this opening half. But we're also seeing some defense being played at both ends.
Tell you what, LSU is a totally different program. I mean, LSU gets after it defensively, really active with their hands. Watch this next half. As soon as the ball is passed, everybody on LSU's team jumps to the basketball. It's really impressive and really well taught, and Michigan has to match it because, look, if you don't match what LSU is doing, you have a real problem. But Michigan has enough quickness that they can guard. This game is going to go down the wire. This is a terrific game.
6.7 opportunity for LSU to score here before headed to the locker room. What would you like to see on this possession?
Well, I think you've got to get the ball to Waters, top of the key, and set a ball screen. I think most likely with Epps and let him step back, play a little high-low. Here comes Waters. They went away from him.
It's Mays deep into the paint. Finishes with the high finger roll. Final second ticking off the clock, and that's how the first 20 come to an end. LSU with the 31-29 lead at halftime. What do you think about that play?
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a play. They ran Waters trying to get him the ball, but Mays saw an opening. The defender from Michigan jumped on the high side, and Waters just whipped him.
So 9 points for Charles Matthews, 9 points for Wagner on the Michigan side. Meanwhile, LSU led the entire half. We'll take a break. Feast Week presented by Lowe's. It's halftime in our final game of day 1. LSU up a bucket on Michigan, last quarterfinal of today's festivities, as we welcome you back to the Maui Jim Maui Invitational. Inside the Lahaina Civic Center, we got ourselves a ball game here to cap things off on day 1. And back inside the arena, alongside Dan Dockett, Jaime Kanoa-Leahy. And hey, look, not a ton of highlight reel type of stuff from that first half. Just a lot of guys playing hard-nosed basketball.
Yeah, both teams are really getting after it. Dave Odom, former coach, now running this tournament, came over and said, we got a grinder, but don't be surprised if both teams loosen up in the second half. First half, Mo Wagner got going a little bit, came in struggling, but man, he was pretty good when he got the ball in that position, as most guys are. This is what I think needs to happen in the second half. They rolled Mo Wagner. They got to pop him this half. Aaron Epps, a senior off the bench, was terrific. You know what? That's what you're supposed to do as a senior. A new coach needs you. Look at Epps coming by and dunking the ball. I think in the second half, you're going to see Mo Wagner shoot some threes, and you're going to see the inside guys, whether it's Reith, Epps, whoever, start getting the ball down low. But a key for Michigan is Duncan Robinson. Hey, you and I have as many points as Duncan Robinson. And that ain't good because he's averaging 14 and you and I are averaging zip.
Yeah, Robinson 0 for 1 from the floor. He got a couple of personal fouls as well. Wagner and Matthews each with 9 points for Michigan, and those 9 points, as you mentioned, from Aaron Epps. So LSU here with the possession out of the halftime intermission and a foul out on the perimeter after the pump fake by Brandon Sampson.
You know, can I talk about why Robinson hasn't gotten any shots? And it's that kid right there, number 0, Brandon Sampson, has done a fantastic job. 2 things. He's staying on top of him, so everything that Robinson has to do is towards the baseline. And the second thing is he's not getting caught on any of John Beilein's screens. It's been really impressive.
Xavier Simpson getting the start here in this second half for Michigan. He picked up that last foul call, and the drop-off by Waters goes out of bounds. So for Waters, that is now 5 turnovers.
Yeah, John Beilein is harping about a palming call. They called palming earlier, and Waters is in danger for that because he's carrying the basketball. He's just going a little too quick into trouble.
This is a guy who has gotten off to a fantastic start in his freshman campaign, was the SEC Freshman of the Week after a 27-point made 3-point field goal debut against Alcorn State.
God, he was terrific. First shot of his college career was about a 35-foot three that he drilled.
Gets fouled there. You see some of the aggressiveness. You also see the handle. He has a pretty special ability with the basketball. But we have seen him tempered a little bit so far in this one.
Well, he's playing against real quickness. Xavier Simpson, really quick kid. Simmons, who's coming in now, really quick kid. Eli Brooks, the same thing. But this kid is special. He has the ball on a string. He plays with his head up, and he can shoot the basketball.
Makes the first free throw. Will Wade refers to him as electric, says he has just an incredible amount of potential.
You know, it's funny. You think of potential as what's yet to come. This dude started with 27. Wade told me the same thing. I'm like, all right, wait a second. You know, is he going to do better than that? But I agree with you. He's going to be a leader. He's going to grow as a defender. He's going to grow in leadership. He is the guy you want as your partner, as Will Wade's partner in growing LSU basketball.
Well, and you got Skylar Mays out there as well. He started 25 games at the point guard position last year, so you effectively have 2 point guards in that backcourt.
Absolutely, and that's the way, as we've seen, both NBA and college, that's the way basketball is going. This is what needs to happen. Wagner does not need to roll. He needs to pop back. I promise you, John Beilein and his staff talked about that.
And didn't necessarily feel the need to back up behind the three-point line. He just stuck the mid-range.
No, remember first shot he took of the game, he was stepping backwards. You just, hey, 2 points is fine.
Falling to the floor is Mays, and here comes Michigan after another LSU turnover. Great lead pass to Charles Matthews.
It was a great lead pass, but I got to tell you, Matthews looked like Usain Bolt. He was, you saw it too, he was flying down the floor.
Filling that lane, and we're tied for the 3rd time here in this ball game. 13th ranked Notre Dame awaits the winner of this one in tomorrow's second semifinal. Here's Reith, nice up and under.
You know what? That's the great equalizer. I think Michigan's doing a good job on the perimeter, but when you're being pressured on the perimeter, all you got to do is throw it up to a big, and when he can make moves like that, that just equalizes everything Michigan's doing.
8 points for Dwop Reith. Wagner closed out by Sampson. Deep 3 by Robinson off the mark. And Skylar Mays comes bursting out of the pack with it. Left corner three ball rattles home. Brandon Sampson.
He is playing a great game. You know what? He's not going to have 25. He probably won't show up on SportsCenter, but he is playing an absolute great basketball game on both ends.
He's got 8, 2 for 4 from downtown.